For those of you new here, I'm Smalls, and this week we're discussing Attack on Titan. Also, don't mind the gameplay in the background, that's just how my videos are. Just listen to my voice. With last month's reveal of humanity surviving outside the walls, we now have more questions than we previously had answers to. Still, this huge reveal is a massive turning point in the series. So this video is actually going to tackle a few points about this turning point and where it'll go on from here. So, I also encourage you all to watch this video to the very end to get the full picture. And if you're not caught up in the manga, then there's warning, there are going to be some major spoilers, including the reveal that I just spoiled for you guys who aren't caught up. So, then again, if you're on YouTube, blah blah blah, you know, you've probably found it anyway. So, also, I want your feedback on the topic and anything I happen to miss. So, first off, let's revisit the picture shown of Grisha. Now, he's far younger than we know him, and there is a young woman sitting down in the chair in front of him with a young boy on her lap. Now, hair color aside, because God forbid we could actually tell the hair color of a manga, but we can obviously know it's not black. It's the same lack of color that ZEKE'S is. And when I first saw this, my mind actually went back to my first Attack on Titan review and a comment left by Davin408 saying that Zeke hints at Grisha being his father. Now this picture would, kind of show that a little bit. And back in chapter 83, we saw a very specific parallel between Zeke's face and Grisha's. And looking at Zeke's face, you can tell it's actually kind of young, but, beneath the Titan shifting marks on his eyes and that scruffy-ass beard. But he does look remotely young. So if Grisha's maybe was in like his 40s or something, maybe 50s, he looked kind of young in that picture, maybe mid-20s. We can place, say, for example, Aaron's, say, like 15-ish. Grisha probably, came to the walls within a few years of that picture being taken. Then we can place Zeke around old enough to be that boy. So, it's possible that he is, basically. It's very possible. As for whether Grisha is his father, though, this is nothing but speculation, because that has not been verbally confirmed. But like I said, I wouldn't doubt it, because Grisha did have memory loss, so it's possible he had that family before he met Carla and made Aaron's family. But he could have also gotten the memory probably after Aaron was born, because it wouldn't exactly make sense for him to regain memory of a former family and yet still go on to make a new one. So, he probably got his memory after, blah blah blah, felt trapped. But then again, like I say, speculation. Because we don't know where he kept that picture. That picture could have been on his person at all times. And it's a possibility that if he didn't know about the picture at first, and he just had it and didn't realize it, which is weird, that's probably what jogged his memory. So either way, that's kind of a big speculation, with a little hole inside of it. But going back to Zeke, he's literally the highest up that we know of the antagonists. We don't know jack shit about them. All we know is that they can create the Titans. Zeke is the one that has been hinted at creating all of the Titans from Connie's home village, for example. And because of that, we can tell that he has the same kind of materials that the Race family had. Which leads to say, the Race family was basically just stuck inside the walls, governing over hiding a secret. But was the secret theirs to hide? Or was it, the secret of the people that Zeke works for? So, we know that the Titans in the creation are a huge element of this, but we don't know what or why. So when I tried predicting the outcome, I realized a couple parallels between Attack on Titan and another action horror series I've read in the past that was also a monthly series. Have any of you ever heard of Claymore before? Well, if you haven't, you're in for spoilers for that series, but I recommend it regardless. Because similar to Attack on Titan, Claymore is set in an early, not really medieval setting, but humans lived in fear of man-eating beings, and they only had one organization to protect them. The beings were called Yoma, and even though they're usually human-sized, there is a Titan-sized variant, seemingly. And the protagonists are actually beings infused with Yoma DNA. The setback of that is that using too much power turns them into their related species, called awakened beings. Now, here is where the parallel really kicks in. The world of Claymore is actually revealed to just be a continent. And that if you liken that continent to the walls, that's where the humanity is sheltered and has no idea what's going on around it and what its true purpose is. That continent was merely a lab to create awakened beings to fight a war elsewhere. So it's possible that the area around the walls is merely a lab to create efficient titans. Here's a few examples. Hanji explained in chapter 73 about the possibility that the titans made from Connie's village might be made to move on less sunlight, so that even the sunlight reflected from the moon would be efficient. And the serum itself is a big example, but the specialized armor serum that Eren ate in chapter 66 is even bigger because it shows specifications that could only be made through unknown experimentation. So the lab bit has a ring of truth to it. But that's just the how. The why is what really matters. And I can't predict that alone. It could be a war. But using the Claymore parallel again, but for structure rather than plot, we can guess that we'll get our next info dump a decent while on. Because in Claymore, we didn't get the first big reveal of the truth of the series until a decent point after the halfway mark. So I'd say about the same, because another 2 or 3 arcs in, then after you learn about the outside world, that's when they learned about the nature of Yoma. Kind of the reverse Attack on Titan, they learned the nature of Titans first. But like I said, it's been a few arcs between those 2 big reveals, so that's still pretty similar. So it'll probably be quite a while before we get our next big Attack on Titan reveal. But personally, I just want to know what that reveal will hold. Which questions will it answer? Because there are so many. For example, what are the villain's main goals? Like I said, is it a war being fought? Or are they just experiment to experiment? How are they connected to the race family? We've already described the connections and the similarities between what they're using. So how are they connected? And are there more Titan Shifters? And speaking of Titan Shifters, what is Ymir's fate? Is Zeke really Grisha's son? And when did Grisha's memory recover, and how much of it did he actually recover before his untimely demise? But that's just what I want to know. What do you guys want to know? What questions do you want revealed? Did I miss anything? Did I possibly misinterpret anything? And are there any other series similar to Claymore that you think might hold a parallel to Attack on Titan? Because there are a few. And are you guys actually really psyched for the next chapter? It should be out in a week or less. Heck, it could be out this afternoon or tomorrow for all I know. But either way, it's coming out real soon. And if it doesn't have a big reveal, maybe it'll have a second part to the reveal we got last month at the very least. So either way, I'm psyched. Are you psyched? Tell me in the comments below. And give the video a like if you feel inclined to. Or just dislike it if you're in one of those crap moods, you woke on the wrong side of the bed, and you didn't like whatever the fuck I've been saying. But either way, check out the rest of the channel and click that subscribe button. I do manga reviews, gameplay, and discussions like this one on a regular basis. So there's something for all of you. I also have a Twitter and Facebook, so you guys can check those out too. The links for all of that, as well as a couple of my other segments, are in the description below. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Smalls out.